Welcome back to Read Between the Lines. Back in it. New year, same show, but we're doing it live for the first time ever.
We are live as fuck, some people are saying.
On TikTok, on YouTube. Read Between the Lines is officially a live show. We're going to make our picks right here, right now. 324. And we got a good card coming to us. Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje, Song Yadong, Sugar Sean O'Malley, the big boys, Derek Lewis. God, I got some live jitters, buddy.
I know, it's been a while.
It has been a while. But what I'm trying to say is UFC 324, a massive card coming our way. First of all, the start of the Paramount era, the end of the pay-per-views. That's got to feel good on you, huh?
Yeah, we've said this before, but I'll say it again. My parents have Paramount, so I have Paramount.
And that's how it goes. And that's a beautiful thing to have. There's a real piece of me that has like dreaded this weekend a little bit because I'm like, $79.99 is coming my way. It's got to come out of my billfold. I'm still so conditioned. As a man that was actually buying the pay-per-views, it's a beautiful sight to just, like, that's still in my mind. Like, I got to spend $80 this weekend to watch these fights. Not the case. It's the Paramount era. And we're starting off with the card that's fell apart a little bit. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes no longer on it. We still do have Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje for an interim belt. It's the only belt on the line is an interim belt this weekend. And it feels like a position for, I guess, both Paddy Pimblett, and let me know how you feel about this, a position for both Paddy Pimblett and Sean O'Malley where you have to kind of, this is your time. You've been saying you're one of the biggest stars in the UFC. It's time to prove it. The platform is there for you. There's no gold belts on the line. It's just you two at the top. I get there's an interim belt, but it's just those two at the top. And I'll be honest, I think it's starting to ramp up a little bit, but I was a little underwhelmed coming into this. It seemed like Paddy Pimblett was playing nice with Justin Gaethje, and I was like, let's get some juice under this thing. You guys are the stars of the show. I need a little bit of juice.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I mean, the only some juice we really got was when Justin Gaethje is talking to Paddy Pimblett and she goes, call me Justin Gaethje. And I was like, like,
He
that's
said
funny or whatever.
Gaethjes?
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
really
that's
good.
funny or whatever, but like, let's get something going here. They are playing too nice. It's a weird thing to see from Paddy Pimblett. He's normally involved in all kinds of controversy, so it almost does feel like something's missing in a way.
Yeah, and I feel like, again, the press conference is going on right now, so who knows how that's going. I'm hoping that this is going to be kind of the star making or the beginning of like a true build for this card, because I have felt a little bit underwhelmed coming into it. Maybe it's just a layoff. I'm not used to having UFC in my life, but I've wanted a little bit more from these guys that are supposed the biggest stars in the UFC. And it all comes down to the fight. At the end of the day, if these two go out there and put on shows, everything is forgiven. Monday morning quarterback, you go, holy shit. Paddy Pimblett is the new interim champion of the world. Sugar Sean O'Malley just beat the brakes off a song. I'm not saying these are my picks. I'm just saying Monday morning, if that's what happens, all is forgotten. But I have wanted just a touch more from the fellas, and hopefully the press conference is popping off right now. But let's get into the bets, because that's what we're here for. UFC 324. I'd like to, first of all, congratulate you. You are our Read Between the Lines 2025 national champion. Belt's currently around your shoulder. You beat the brakes off me.
First and foremost, thank you for taking the time to congratulate me. I did beat the absolute fucking brakes off you. That is true. However, I'm sorry, that was crazy.
It was aggressive.
However, all of that is in the past. We both did pretty not great on the last show we had here. I'm very, very excited to keep making the people money in 2026, which still sounds weird. I'm just fired up to be here, to be honest. I couldn't be happier. Missed the show, missed the UFC. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's a new year. It's a new wave. And I just want to let you know here, just on the front end of the year, that I fully plan on beating the fucking brakes out of you.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to start by going 5-0 on the first card. And it comes right here with the first one. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. A matchup that has been criticized a bit.
Mainly by you.
No, I actually think it's the perfect fight. I think it's the perfect fight. for the guys, I think the criticism is coming from the fact that there's an interim belt on the line when you do have a guy like Arman Tsarukyan, who a lot of people have gotten behind over the course of the last couple of months since he picked up his win over Dan Hooker. And speaking of Arman Tsarukyan, the guy's been all over the place. I don't know if you've been keeping up with him online, but literally every platform you can imagine, this man has been putting on a show. From I saw him on David Dobrik's blog, Mighty Mouse, Neon, Aiden Ross, like literally everybody, everywhere he could be, feels like Arman Tsarukyan has been over the last handful of weeks. But we got Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett sitting right in front of us, interim belt on the line. Supposedly, Ilia Topuria will be making a return in June. His words, not mine. May, June. It was an Instagram comment that he left for some nice fella, some lucky guy.
Who's that?
Wow, I don't know. It wasn't me.
Oh.
You thought it was me?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
I did. I thought it was you.
No, this is mainstream news, buddy. No, some lucky fella. And he said in that comment, Paddy Pimblett would be next. Or not Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje, whoever the winner of this fight is, will be next. And again, I think this is the perfect matchup for both of these guys. Like, I felt like in the criticism on Paddy Pimblett coming into this fight, per se, he did get that immediate title shot to Ilia Topuria, was going to be he's never beat anybody in the top 5. Like, there's no this is an undeserved title shot. He's getting it because of the name and the recognition that he brings, which is true. I feel like if Ilia Topuria was available for this date, it would be Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria, and I've stood on that. But
yeah,
not the case. And Justin Gaethje on the same side, it's like you've won one fight. You beat Rafael Fiziev. Before that, you were laying face down on the canvas against Max Holloway. So I felt like he needed another win, and Paddy Pimblett needed that guy in the top 5. Now that we finally have it, how do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I couldn't be more fired up to see this fight. Man, it's a difficult fight to make money on, in my opinion. Paddy Pimblett is coming in at a heavy -230 favorite overall. I do think there's going to be a strong feeling out period here. Justin Gaethje is an incredible grappler, but I mean, Paddy Pimblett is kind of a different level. I do think there's going to be a feeling out period here. I'm very, very excited. Paddy's first main event on a pay-per-view, which is fucking awesome and sweet and cool. Dude, I just have the over 2.5 rounds. I think this fight probably goes the distance, or is a finish late.
5 rounds, you think this one goes?
I have it going the distance. I have the over of 2.5 rounds, though.
What's the over set at?
2.5 -115.
Yeah, I think I remember looking at that line because it's -15 on both sides, over and under. And I did consider that. I think I'd lean under in this situation. I like Justin Gaethje. He's savage. And I'm going to, I mean, a literal stud. His nickname is the highlight for a reason. When you watch Justin Gaethje highlights, I'll be honest, there's about 2 guys in the UFC that I'll full-blown ride for no matter what, and Paddy Pimblett happens to be one of them. But when you pull up Justin Gaethje highlights, you can't help but go, holy shit. This guy is a fucking dog. The wars that he's put on are legendary. The damage that he can seem to inflict on just about anybody, I think might be a real problem for Paddy Pimblett. You know, those leg kicks start running. We've never really seen, early in Paddy's career, we saw him get dropped once, hurt a couple times. The fights were a lot more back and forth until they were over. But as of recent, he's been on a certified freaking tear. The way that he handled, and it seems like every step of the way he's been doubted, the way that he handled a guy like Bobby Green, submitted him, beat him up on the feet, even Tony Ferguson before that. I know Tony was on a huge slide, and, shout to Tony Ferguson. The dude's back in boxing. He's put together 2 in a row. But
what guy?
The way he handled Tony Ferguson into Bobby Green, and then the most impressive of them all was Michael Chandler, in my opinion, because there was a lot of people. It's been a little revisionist history on that. There was a lot of people betting on Michael Chandler in that fight, but Paddy just handled him. And my worry for Justin Gaethje is we've seen him get tapped out. And Paddy Pimblett is an elite level grappler. Granted, the guys that he's getting tapped out are also like Khabib Nurmagomedov and Charles Oliveira, like the highest of the highest echelon. But Paddy Pimblett is an elite level grappler, and I think that's going to be a problem for him. My pick, plus 130, Paddy Pimblett via submission.
Ooh, I don't hate anything about it. The grappling is one of the reasons that I took this to go over 2.5 rounds. I don't think either of them gets a finish, let alone Paddy gets a submission before the 2.5 round mark. I think they're just going to be too fresh. Justin Gaethje's no stranger to fighting 5 round fights. I don't hate that pick at all.
It'll be interesting if this thing actually goes 5, because we've never seen. I think Paddy finished Chandler in the 3rd, maybe.
I think so.
We've never seen him go a full 5, at least not in the UFC. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out if it ends up going long. But what you're really trying to say is you are playing this one like a pussy dog, not picking the main event.
Huge pussy. I did make a pick over 2.5 rounds. To be completely frank and honest with you, I think Paddy Pimblett wins this fight, and I think Justin Gaethje retires. And I'm just sad and scared.
Boy.
I don't want Justin Gaethje to retire, but if he loses this fight, it's time.
Yeah, and it feels like that's been kind of the case for, as this fight was coming to be. If you remember a couple months ago, Justin Gaethje was calling for a title or retirement. That was his kind of claim to fame. Even throughout the week, this week, he's been talking about, this is probably my last year in the sport. I'm hoping to beat Paddy Pimblett, then face Ilia Topuria, get my hands on that belt, and probably ride away into the sunset. So seems like he's already looking at, an escape plan of some sort. Paddy Pimblett, of course, is just beginning kind of the top echelon of this division. We're going to find out if he can hang, because there is truth to the fact that he's never really fought a guy of Justin Gaethje's caliber. And after that, it turns into Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria. Those guys are freaking problems.
Yeah, they definitely aren't solutions unless your problem is needing to get knocked out.
Just a quick one. Obviously, this fight's not together, and a lot of things have to happen before it. Do you favor either of these guys over Ilia Topuria?
I definitely favor Paddy Pimblett over Ilia Topuria.
Damn, boy. I feel like that's a hot take.
I don't really know. I mean, Paddy Pimblett has looked surgical. If it was, a handful of years ago, I would definitely, and Ilia was today for him, I would definitely favor Justin Gaethje over Ilia. His chin has kind of gone to the wayside a little bit, as to be expected when you've taken and dealt out as much damage as somebody as accomplished as Justin Gaethje has. He just doesn't have that I can take 1,000 fucking finishing shots to the face. Hey, yo, he doesn't have that chin anymore.
Yeah, and it feels like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far when it comes to picking either of these guys over Ilia Topuria, just with the work that he's been able to put in as of. It feels like if Ilia touches your chin, you just go lights out. I think Arman Tsarukyan's a really interesting one, and I get the people getting behind Arman Tsarukyan and saying like, hey, this guy is the best in the division outside of Ilia Topuria, and I think he's doing a better job of promoting himself. But Dana White's just got a vengeance, and he's known to hold on to those fucking things. So interested to see how that plays out. That brings us into, one more thing. Is there any truth to the rumor that Justin Gaethje is elite in non-title fights?
Yeah, I think, yes, 1,000%. Justin Gaethje is the best non-title fighter to ever grace the UFC octagon. He is, when the title is not actually on the line, Justin Gaethje is a different animal.
You think about his 2 greatest performances, like if I go back and go, what are 2 performances that put Justin Gaethje over the edge? Tony Ferguson for an interim belt, Dustin Poirier for a BMF belt. I mean, pitched a shutout against Tony Ferguson and then head kick KO'd Dustin Poirier in that BMF title. So, I'm just saying, when the belt's on the line, if it's not officially gold and he doesn't already have it, because he did get knocked out when fighting Max Holloway for a BMF belt that he already carried. When he's fighting for a belt that's not a championship belt, we've got some damn good performances. A little worrisome for the picks.
Yeah, definitely a little worrisome for the people on Pettit the Pimblett. I love the over here. I love it. Love everything about it.
Next fight on the card, we're talking about Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong, the return of Sugar Sean O'Malley after a two-fight skid to one Merab Dvalishvili, who has been dethroned by Petr Yan. I don't know if we talked. Have we? That was the last pay-per-view of the year. I don't think we've talked since that happened. How surprised were you that Petr Yan got over Merab Dvalishvili in that spot on that card? Excuse me. The title defense of the year. Do you feel like that played a factor? The fact that it was going on for his fifth fight of the year, or do you think Petr Yan just found the answers and did some work?
I think it has to be a mixture of both, right? I mean, we see people fight often, and Renier Day Ritter is another incredible example. That happened last year, and they both just didn't look like themselves in their fifth fight. I mean, Marab looked like a shell of himself. Either that or Petr Yan is just the best fighter I've ever seen in my entire life, bar none. I just don't. First and foremost, I was stunned by the result, especially in the fashion it was delivered. It wasn't even really close.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, wear and tear is definitely a thing. Another person that, fights a ton and doesn't always look their best, Kevin Holland. We see these people that are so active and they have these missteps like that. I don't know if Marab will be able to bounce back and be as dominant as he ever was. I mean, he took a ton of damage in that fight. We'll have to see. But I mean, that fight was fucking insane.
Yeah, and it makes this fight a little bit more interesting because you've got a guy in Sean O'Malley that has previously beat Petr Yan. This is a guy that just a few years back, Sean O'Malley beat. So I think that when the conversation comes to who's next, I felt like these two fights, Sean O'Malley and Umar Nurmagomedov on this card, became a lot more interesting. And I know it's probably like the right thing to do would be to give Merab Dvalishvili an immediate rematch, but you can't deny the star power of like a Sean O'Malley coming into this situation. I mean, if he can put Song Yadong's lights out, I think he can make a real case for himself. Like, hey, the White House card is coming up. You need some big Americans on that thing. Give me Petr Yan. That could be a massive fight at the top of the card. And the first fight was fantastic. Like, the first fight was one of my favorite fights of all time.
Yeah, it was an incredible fight. I mean, my favorite fights of all time. So many of them were Justin Gaethje, and we just spent so much time talking about him. We don't need to do it again. An absolute banger. A lot of controversy around that decision. I thought he won the fight. Not that my opinion matters for fuck all, but that was my opinion on it. And you're right. This levies so much more weight to those two fights. If Sean looks dominant, like everybody online thinks he could, I don't see why that rematch. Take my money. Except I'm not giving the UFC any more money. So you know,
Mom is. Let's go.
Shout out, mom.
Yeah, and I think the reason people see this fight one way is because, when we look back at the career of Sean O'Malley, shorter guys have had a problem with his length, his speed, his range control is really good. And Song Yadong, don't get me wrong, is a certified fucking savage, and he's fought some of the best guys in this division, but he's never got over them. When we talk about him fighting like a Corey Sandhagen, a Petr Yan, even a Henry Cejudo, I know that fight got stopped early because of an eye poke, but he's never got over. I think he actually did technically he got the win for that one. But Henry was having success, and we just saw him get dominated by Peyton Talbot. Again, Henry's aging, so you never know how much that plays a factor. But it feels like a position, and Sean's a massive favorite. I can't remember what the line is here, but he's I think probably 200, 300.
Shug minus 205.
Yeah. So he's a pretty big favorite. Is that how you see it going? You think Sean O'Malley's got the edge here? Or you think Song Yadong can put something together and finally get over that hump?
Yeah, Song Yadong would have to wrestle his absolute balls off. The charging forward nature, the throw caution to the wind style that he fights with and is so fucking awesome. It's great to watch. It isn't really going to cut it here. Shug will put your fucking lights out, dance around you, punch you in the face 1,000 times. We saw him do it. Obviously, Song Yadong's a lot better than Chris Moitino, but stylistically, pretty similar in that aspect. They're going to walk right at you.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work. My pick for this fight, this is a brand new bet to Today in Combat.
Ooh.
I have Song Yadong plus 3.5 points on the scorecard.
So I never really understand that. I understand that that's always an option, the point spread. How does that work in the UFC? Are we just talking about the final score of, like, say it's 29-28? That would be a 1 point spread?
Exactly. So as long as the fight is at the worst 27 or 30-27, that's a winning bet.
But the point spread is -3.5, so he'd have to win by 4 points, I think, right?
Yeah, Shug would have to win by 4 points, but Song has to lose by less than 4 points on the scorecard because it's Song plus 3.5.
So they're not. It's not just like. So they're adding up the total of all three judges' scorecards. So, like, say all three rounds were 30-27 in favor of Shug. Final score would be 90 to -9, 81.
No, no. Wait, I don't think that's not what it says on DraftKings. I could
Hey,
be wrong.
I'm just trying to
If
figure it
that, hey,
out.
if
Because
I'm wrong and like at 30-27, I think it's the average score. So let's say the fight's 30-27, Song plus 3.5 would cover there. If I'm wrong and that's not how it works, give me Shug by decision. But I think that's how it
the
works.
3.5 is confusing me a little bit, just because if it's the average, if he, like, he just has to win one round on one judge's scorecard, and the average is there.
Right, but okay, okay.
I mean,
We
you
need to
threw
move
this
past
thing
this.
off the
We're getting
rails with this pick,
I
brother.
know, I know. All I saw was I could like Song Yadong could lose 30-27, and I would get a win. Let me amend my pick to where we understand this bet better and just
Okay.
pick Shug by decision.
Shug by decision. I am taking Sean O'Malley plus 300 via KO. I'm
Ooh,
starting off the two hot. I went Patty by
ooh.
decision, now Sean by KO. I don't really feel like fucking around. A lot of people are saying you should start fucking around. But a guy like me, I don't feel like it.
I don't feel like it.
I
It's
don't.
not happening.
No. And it's gonna make it that much sweeter when these bets start freaking hitting. Because
Hey.
I'm taking it by the books for the first two. By finish. It just feels like a fight that Sean should win. And I think it is a place where he really is going to be on a pedestal to reinsert himself into that title picture and almost immediately. Halfway because the star that he is. And secondly, because I think he could knock out Song Yadong. I think that's an option here. I mean, it's always an option in a Sean O'Malley fight, but just in the spot that he is, the first card of the year, I feel like these, and I've said this, Sean O'Malley and Paddy Pimblett, I think they need to come across as stars. These are star-making spots. If there's an opportunity to level up, it's right here on Paramount Plus, the first card of the year. I think more people than normal are going to be tuning in just because it is free now. And you don't have any of those big names outside of these two. So if either of these guys falter in these spots, that's a big freaking hit.
Yeah, it's a huge hit. I mean, if either yeah, I mean, you said it. I can't fucking speak English. I mean, it shakes up the division for sure.
The next one we got is Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Little heavyweight action here. Waldo is streaking a little bit. He got put back by Sergey, I think 2 fights ago, and then he's won 2 straight. Andre Delia, and then he just knocked out somebody else not too long ago. Derek Lewis, just a staple of the heavyweight division, an absolute savage of all savages. Fun fact about Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's never been KO'd.
Oh,
Currently facing the KO king, Derek Lewis has put out 24 of his 29 wins have been via KO. Waldo Cortez Acosta, never been knocked out, especially at heavyweight. Kind of surprised me.
that is very surprising. I mean, I can't even really think of a heavyweight that doesn't get knocked out when they lose. That's weird. I'm still trying to think. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, it's also, he is a little bit of a decision merchant to a certain extent. Like, he also doesn't do a ton of knocking out. I'm taking Waldo Cortez money line here for whatever reason, it's minus 340. When I picked it, I was like, I feel like I'm going to be on the opposite side of a lot of people just because Derek Lewis is such a fan favorite and he does have that death touch. But I think the way Waldo skirts around the octagon, he can kind of pick and poke. And we have seen Derek get knocked out by people you wouldn't think he would. So, Tai Tuivasa, for example, Cyril Gahn did it. You know, we've seen him be pretty up and down. Again, he does have that death touch. It could always happen. But I'm rooting on him to, and I don't even like it, but I think Waldo Cortez Acosta is going to get this one done.
This is the first time we're going to be on opposite sides
I love
of
it.
the year. I have Derek Lewis money line plus 270. Derek Lewis is on a fucking heater right now. He might be all the way back. There's title shot talk for Derek Lewis. The heavyweight division is in fucking chaos. With the injury to Tom and what's John doing, what's
Yeah.
Alex Pereira doing. It's in chaos, and the only stability that we've had for in this division for the long haul has been Derek Lewis knocking motherfuckers out. Give me a little stability here. Give me Derek Lewis. I love the under 1.5 too, but just give me the Derek Lewis money line plus 270 to put motherfuckers lights out.
It's pretty goddamn good odds, and I definitely thought about it. When I picked it, I was like, I'm surprised that Waldo is this big of a favorite, but also, like, I don't know, something in my heart was telling me it's time to pick the boy, but who's to say?
Oh, I hate the pick. I can't stand that I picked that. But a lot of times those are the picks I win. So let's go.
Next fight on the card now, Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. I am a massive Natalia Silva fan. She is currently on a 13-fight win streak. Seems like she's probably poised to be next for the belt if she gets a win over Rose Namajunas. Rose has been a little up and down since joining 125. Obviously dominant at 115, won the belt twice, beat Zhang Wei Li twice. But since moving up to 125 pounds, struggled a little bit. Seems like I think she's 3-2 in the 5 fights that she's had up at 125. The 2 people she's lost to, though, Minot Farrow and Erin Blanchfield. Seems like she's struggled with the top end of the division. She's got wins over Tracy Cortez, Amanda Hebos, but just hasn't been able to get over the top of the division. And Natalia Silva is just so fast. I think she's got some of the best kicks in the game right now. And I think it'll be a really interesting stylistic matchup. I have a feeling that Rose is going to want to wrestle, which we haven't really seen Natalia on her back a lot, so we'll see if Rose can get inside. I just don't think you can stand on the outside and watch Natalia Silva run circles around you, just slapping you with kicks. So I think Rose is going to want to get on the inside and see what happens. It'd be interesting to see if she can do that. But my pick here, Natalia Silva, minus 225 by decision.
Yeah. Everything you just said is just surgically correct. With that being said, I mean, you're right. Like Rose has her 2 losses in the division, and her 2 losses for quite some time do come to absolute fucking killers. I know Farrow is, dominated everybody she's fought except for, the champ, where she got dominated. The Erin Blanchfield fight was closer between Minot Farrow, but I mean, still pretty dominant fashion. This fight fucking sucks to make money on. I have the same pick as you, Natalia Silva, by decision. Rose almost certainly has to wrestle, or I mean, her kicks are lethal as well, and her hands
Yeah.
are arguably significantly more lethal. I mean, she's actually put girls out with her hands that carry some weight in some divisions. That being said, man, I mean, we're going to see we're going to see the old Rose if she wants to get this done. Natalia Silva by decision seems like the no-brainer pick.
You also just hate to root against Rose. I mean, she's had
I
such
know.
special moments. When I looked at this, I was like, God, I don't want Rose to lose here. But I just think Natalia Silva is that special. And you're right. It was a pain in the ass to make money on. She is a pretty big, sizable favorite. And, I mean, the actual line here is pretty disgusting. We're talking about...
Minus 220. Oh, that's exact method of victory. Minus 308 and plus 300.
Yeah. So if you're on Rose's
Yeah, no-
side, you're feeling pretty good right now. But for me, it's Natalia Silva. I think she is going to be next up for the belt if she can get over Rose Namajunas. There's a case for Minot Farrow, but I mean, she just got done knocking out Jasmine Jasavicius with pretty much the first punch she threw, which was really impressive. But also, she's already faced the champ and lost to the champ, so getting some new blood, especially with Valentina, who just seems like she's caught a second wave. I mean, the way that she handled Zhang Weili was one of the most shocking things that I've seen in a long time. Like, that was pure and total dominance from start to finish on a lady in Zhang Weili that both of us going into that fight were like, she's going to walk up here and beat Valentina Shevchenko. And then she might make it look pretty easy, too. Just not the case. Valentina, a timeless lady. Really fucking impressed with her. And when you do talk about Natalia Silva moving up, if she does get over Rose Namajunas, I think this is a good stepping stone for her because Rose can wrestle. And if she leans on that, that is what you're going to get from Valentina Shevchenko. You're going to get she's turned into a little bit of a wrestler. She did it to Alexa Grasso. She got over her, did the same thing to Zhang Weili. Not as much looking for the finishes as she may have done in the past, but a really freaking interesting fight. And I just hate to root against Rose because I like her so much.
Yeah, when she starts saying I'm the best over and over again, I mean, I
could cry.
The blood going.
Speaking of blood going, the fight following this is an absolute barn burner. Anytime you got Jean Silva in a fight, you feel like it's going to get crazy. That's just the type of guy he is. But then you got Arnold Allen on the other side, who's just as scrappy as they come. Hasn't fought in a while. Since July of 2024. So it's been a year and a half since we last saw Arnold Allen. I don't exactly know why that was. I'm sure it was some sort of injury. Hopefully he's feeling better. But Arnold Allen is an interesting case in this fight because we do see Jean Silva. I mean, I'm not going to say he got exposed, but he got spinning back elbow by Diego Lopez in a fight that he was losing. Had some moments, had some success, put some big shots on Diego, but first round got completely dominated on the ground and then found his way a little bit in the second round until eventually he got KO'd. Arnold Allen hasn't been much of a wrestler, but he is a guy that's fought the top end of this division. He's fought a very close, controversial decision loss to Mosar Evloev, who's a pure-blown wrestler, and then also fought Max Holloway in a great 5-rounder, like a really fun 5-rounder. The worrisome is just like the ring rust. How do you see this one playing out with these two guys?
Yeah, first and foremost, somebody's gonna have to teach these fucking fighting nerds how to wrestle. It's wild. None of them can really do it. It's crazy. Having not seen John Silva since the fall of the fighting nerds, that was a crazy, crazy night for that squad. Having not seen Arnold in a while, it makes it tough to pick. I do have Arnold money line plus 210 here. I just think Arnold's a more well-rounded fighter. He doesn't wrestle a ton, but he can do it. His striking's money. His defense is good. I mean, as long as John Silva doesn't make out with him in the first round, I think Arnold wins this fight.
I'm actually surprised that that's your pick because it's the same I got. And when I picked it, I was like, this one's going to be a little controversial, plus 210 Arnold Allen. Because John Silva is so beloved. It's just the character that he is. But you do worry about him sometimes because he'll stand there and have a conversation with you when you're piecing him, like when you're pitter-pattering him up. So you worry about the volume a little bit with him. I'm actually really surprised that you took that. That kind of put me, I thought I was going to have a controversial pick there, and then you picked the same damn thing.
I thought the same thing. I thought this was going to be a John Silva suckfest, and I was going to have to be like, all right, Brad, okay, we get it. You like John Silva. Okay, you want to be the next guy John Silva kisses. We get it. We understand that. Like, we got it. But no, us being on the same side of this fight was not on my bingo card.
I actually like that. I'm a big fan of that. That makes me feel better about that pick, and it probably makes you feel worse if I had to take a guess.
Significantly worse.
We just got about a minute and a half left, so I'm going to run through some prelim fights right quick. Umar Nurmagomedov, another one that I think it's got some pretty big stakes when you talk about the bantamweight division. Another guy that could be a fight away. He's never fought Petr Yan. Who knows if Murad Dvalishvili gets the immediate rematch. Even if he does, Umar Nurmagomedov, the first one was great, so I could see that being rammed back pretty quick. I think it was a little bit telling, the placement on the card in comparison to Sean O'Malley, who, granted, he got bumped into the co-main, but we're talking about Umar Nurmagomedov on the headline of the prelims, facing Davison Figueiredo. I see this one being pretty easy for him. I expect him to get this done in under 2.5. How do you feel?
I am on the opposite side. I have Figgy.
Wow. Atiba Gutierrez is the other one that I have. Hard to make money on this, but I love Atiba Gutierrez. We're gonna lose the call here in about 30 seconds, so I'm gonna let you go. But god damn it, was a pleasure. Good to be back. We just did it live, brother.
We did it live. Thank you so much for having me as always. I had, oh, we get to do it again next week, man.
Incredible.
That's fucking